For the past couple of months, there have been a lot of extremely big YouTubers and extremely big Twitch streamers who are basically just decided to leave, to retire. They're just like, you know what, I don't really want to do this anymore, and they're just getting up and go and put that whole chapter behind them. And this is something very interesting to see. Now, this is shocking to a lot of people because I think it's pretty well known now that the brand new dream job or the brand new thing that people want to do is easily be a YouTuber or be a Twitch streamer or just have some kind of online presence. That's the number one thing that a lot of people want to do. There are so much times where we have seen people do absolutely anything just for the chance for them to get some internet views. You have seen people throw away all morals, or people who literally put themselves in extremely dangerous situation for the tiny chance just to get it. Even though most of the time when people do absolutely crazy things and it does succeed, it's only for like a couple of days and then everyone just forgets they exist. But people are willing to do it just so they can get their little shining light of fame. So for a lot of people, when you see an extremely big content creator walk away, they just can't believe it. They're in a situation that so much people wish and dream that they were in. How could they ever be annoyed of it? And again, you see a lot of big content creators doing this, and the main reason why I wanted to talk about this is because they have been one video not so long ago from a YouTuber named Tfue. I hope I'm saying his name right. And this is a YouTuber that you have probably seen before. Even if you don't watch his videos, you have probably heard his name before, or you've probably seen a clip from him. He is very popular. He has a lot of subscribers, and he ended up making an extremely personal video. He's basically done with YouTube. He wants to put this part of his life behind him, and he really wants to go and move on. And he's not the only YouTuber who decided to do something like this. Another good example is PewDiePie. Not so long ago, he ended up talking about how he finally feels free from the content creating grind. So this is just something that I want to talk about. Now, first let me talk about Tfue's video, because I did end up watching it and seeing some people in the comment section of it. It is very interesting to see. So I want to bring out some things that seemed very interesting to me when he ended up talking about in the video. He basically talks about the whole journey, and he talks about the state where he is now. And I want to bring up a couple of things that stand out to me, which one of them being talking about his hours. In the video, he ended up talking about how it was extremely stressful for basically him to work all these crazy hours. He streams to like 4 or maybe 9 hours a day, and it seems like he has a Twitch contract, so he's gonna have a certain amount of hours that he probably has to hit. And he also talks about how hard that is and how stressful it is for him to basically go and do that. Now, this is something that a lot of people probably aren't really going to be able to relate to, and you really see this in the comment section. It's really not that hard to find someone saying that, oh, why is he complaining? He's in a super good situation, and he should be extremely happy in the position that he's in. Because the hours that he's basically talking about is just normal 9 to 5 hours, and I think it's pretty well known now that most people who work those jobs are probably miserable. They hate every minute of it, and they don't want to do that at all. They will do absolutely anything to basically play video games for 9 hours and basically make that their job. And also, Tfue's making way more money than they probably ever will make. It will probably take multiple people a lifetime to basically compare to how much money that this guy was able to make, especially at such a young age, because he's only 25 years old. This is also something that I could see how that could be extremely stressful, because you have to play video games for a job. It's basically not really a hobby anymore, because for most people, they usually play games to like escape from reality. You know, they had like a really bad day on work, or they just had a bad day in general. You go log on and you play your favorite game so you can go and relax. But when playing games become your job, it's not really a hobby anymore. It's not something you do for fun. It's basically something that you have to do so you can make money, so you can pay your bills. So I can completely understand how this can become very stressful and something that you just don't really enjoy anymore. Especially in his case, where he's probably just playing the same 1 to 2 games over and over and over again. I can get how that can get extremely boring. Like, for a good example, I like playing Destiny 2, but it's not my job. If I had to play that game to basically pay the bills, I can very easily see why you will come to hate that game. Something else that I also like is Uma Musume. I talk about this a lot on my channel because it's something that I really do enjoy. But again, if it was basically my job to talk about Uma Musume 24/7, basically every single day, I can easily see how something that I enjoy can easily become something that I hate and something that I don't really want to do anymore. So I can completely understand how you can come to that mindset. And one other thing is how he's basically saying he feels like he's spent most of his life behind a camera. He feels like that he wasn't really able to live life, and he wasn't really able to go outside and touch grass. But he also said in the video that he doesn't regret his decision on becoming a YouTuber and becoming a Twitch streamer, and he's also extremely grateful for the position that he's in, which I feel like that's something that just comes obvious to a lot of people. I feel like most YouTubers and most Twitch streamers, even though that they wish that they can go outside and do more things, they probably don't regret their decision. How back then it was like video games was to escape from reality, but now it's the complete opposite. Him going outside is basically escaping from his reality, which I think is also something very interesting. Something that a lot of YouTubers has talked about, and something that everyone who's been watching a lot of YouTube has seen, that as a content creator, 95% of the time you usually can't take a break. Now this is very different person to person, because obviously I think we all know a YouTuber who barely uploads. He uploads a video like once every 4 months, but when he does upload a video, it gets absolutely crazy amount of views, and it's instantly #1 on trending. But that's not the case for a lot of YouTubers. Most of the time, if one YouTuber just decides to leave for a long period of time, it can be absolutely crazy for them. And this is something that I have seen, and this is something that I'm pretty sure you have seen so much times, where a massive Twitch streamer will go and take a break, and then they lose a crazy amount of subs. One YouTuber is like, I don't really want to go and make videos anymore, and he leaves for a couple of months, and his viewership just drops. This is something that I feel like a lot of YouTubers are very scared of. Like, if you bring that up to them, they start shaking, because I'm pretty sure they just don't want to fall off. That is one thing that's probably the biggest fear of a lot of people who are on the internet, is just falling off and not really being relevant anymore. A lot of them are really scared to leave and just wants to constantly make videos over and over and over again, which can also lead to them being extremely burned out and lead to them to just not wanting to make these videos anymore. One thing that I think is very interesting, me, someone who watches a lot of YouTube, and someone who's basically been on the internet for an extremely long time, there is one main difference that I see of the YouTubers who burn out and the YouTubers who apparently don't. And that seems to be the YouTuber who are trapped in one category, or YouTubers who are basically forced to do one thing over and over again. A good example is something that I like to call the one game YouTuber, which you're basically a YouTuber who is forced to only upload and forced to only play one game. A good example that I'm going to use is Destiny YouTubers. There are so much YouTubers in that field who are just burnt out, who just don't want to talk about it anymore, because that's basically all they have to do. They have to play that one game over and over and over again. They're basically trapped doing that, because most of the time, if you're a one game creator, if you leave, you're almost guaranteed to lose viewership. It happens so much times where they want to leave, they want to play different games, and the viewer just isn't there anymore. They're just there for the game. And this is something that you even seen with newer generations of content creators. A good example has to be the whole Genshin Impact community. There are tons of YouTubers who are Genshin Impact creators, and that game has basically made their career, and they play the game so much they just don't like it anymore. They're just absolutely sick of the game, and they just want to run away and escape from it. And usually when they do, people just don't watch their videos anymore, and they lose a lot of subscribers and a lot of viewerships, and it makes them panic, and it makes them stay doing the same thing over and over again, which usually leads to them being even more miserable. This is just something interesting that I wanted to talk about, something that I just wanted to give my opinion on. My name is Lua. You have a good day or night. See ya.